get all of our metal. Just got a couple hundred pounds of metal that's going to go into it. Big giant warehouse here. Enough for the Chevy and the T-bucket.
These are all steel, right?
Well, I made it back from the steel shop. A couple pieces here. I don't know what size that is, maybe 1/8 inch or something. It's heavy. And I got my 20 feet of 3/4 to be more than enough to finish this. I can finish bracing that up, and my big steel pieces here will be good for my firewall. And this big old piece of steel here will fit in there good. Looks like it almost is the right length, but probably what I'll do is cut an angle off of the bottom on both sides so it'll fit into the body here. And here in the front I've got a pretty massive piece. Plenty wide enough. Looks like I'll have enough to, once I cut this out, to actually make another firewall. It'll be easiest just to mark it right here and get my curve for the top of the cowl. I'd like to drop it down on the frame, since I got so much of it there, another 6 inches, and bend this section here. You know, if it came down to here, I could make kind of one piece here, or bend it from here back. Maybe what I'll do is slot it so it'll go down over the, all centered up. Cut me 2 slots in it right down here at the bottom, so it'll drop down to where I want it to go. And then after, I can mark the top and then cut that curve out. It'll take a little doing to get this piece in. This is going to be the toughest one, I think. Not really, because I can mark it here. I won't have to go through as much as I will with that back. Oh, this is great. Run on my radiator. I'm sure that did it some good. Anyway, just another little deal in balancing heavy steel up on stuff. Might have bent my cap a little, but that's the way it goes. So, get a little wreck on the first part of the video. Then leaned it up against the firewall and just squirted some primer on it. It gives me my fairly rough outline. Now I'll just cut this out now. Well, it takes time with an angle grinder, but you really can't cut a curve. You can cut a whole bunch of cords. It took 2 discs to cut it loose. Now we'll put it on so it looks like. Yeah, we did a pretty decent job here. It's fitting in well all the way across. Looks like here on the outside edges, of course I got a little too big, but the primer wasn't all that good. It's always have it a little bigger than it is a little small. So now I can kind of cut this out. Looks like I took a little too much off that one, but I think I'm going to bring it right straight to the edge of the firewall anyway. So I need to cut a little out of this one and a little bit out of this one, or I might be able to just tap a bit with a hammer and make it fit. We'll see. Well, that looks a little better. I beat these out a bit, but since the original plan was to have this metal here fit up inside this groove, I'm looking pretty good. I cut this one a little high. It needs to clear the metal right here, but it looks like I can trim it a little right there to fit in. And on this side I basically got the same thing. I'll have to trim this down a little right in here, and the middle of the firewall here has got a little crease in it, so I'll have to notch that a bit. So I'll mark these, and a little more cutting and that should pop right in. Well, we got our basic fit here. It's all going in pretty much where we need it to be. And what I'm going to do now is take a grinder and clean up some of these rough edges. Those are really sharp. You got to be real careful you don't cut yourself open on them. But it looks like this corner here needs to be taken out a bit, and this one's pretty straight, maybe a little down at the bottom. Just cleaned up with the grinder and try it again. I've got it in, got a decent curve on it. I can now see that there's some bends and so forth in my tin up here. For example, that's pretty obvious. That's too high. So I got just bring that down. This one's too low. Bring it up and down. And that looks much better. And it fit right here in the corners to where I can just bring that side in a little. That's actually right now being held by gravity. It won't come out. Got these little plates here that I just raise it up just a little bit with. That's actually the piece that come out of it. And I don't have to see any trouble at all here. And I can cut this here, and just bend it a straight angle back, and probably weld it into this, because the firewall and the body is all going to kind of be one piece. Could weld it in, I suppose, but I was planning on bolting it, but it might be better welded. I can just tack it on the inside. Only thing it means that I'd have to pull the body pretty much perfectly vertical to get it off, but that shouldn't be a trouble. I may just tack it in now and put a few more inside braces to brace it up. Basically, that looks really good. It's brand new steel. It's not been up or anything, so I should be able to get a pretty much a mirror finish on that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to weld it all into the frame. That way I can tack it here in a couple places, cut up some pieces, put another plate right here, right down the side. Just take it right inside this gap here. I can bend that right down to the bottom.